Cleanliness is next to godliness. A clean environment help prevent diseases, help restore dreams, give hope, and reawaken in the community a spirit of leadership, good governance, accountability. An environment which is dirty gives a mentality crisis and keep the people in perpetual darkness, pollution in different perspective. A lot of diseases flow and stem when the environment is not just dirty but massively dirty. Within our cities, towns, and major areas of the nation, the issue of death and the indiscriminate dumping of refuse, the piles and heaps of death are becoming a major call for concern again in a nation that recently had the presidential election with the candidate elected and validly installed and who is now in his mandate to actually pilot the affairs of the nation. One would have expected that within this period of time, the issue about proper disposal of garbage will be at the center, as it has always been a problem, as it was a problem within the course of the campaigns for the 2025 October 12th presidential election. Across Yaoundé, move to Douala, Boya, Bamenda, Garwa, and Gaoundéré, you can name the rest. The issue about garbage is a major call for concern. Health experts have warned about imminent outbreak of major diseases associated with this indiscriminate dumping and the pile of garbage across our major cities, towns, and villages. Cholera, dysentery, diarrhea, and other forms of diseases, malaria, just to name those which I can't actually articulate at the moment, are imminent doom for the people of our nation. Accidents have also occurred as a result of the piles blocking major highway and roads within our city. Walkways have been transformed into pile and garbage of death amount to this area. A good example is when you are going to Kumba in the southwest region of Cameroon, in a locality which is called Mamu, along the Boya Kumba highway, where piles of garbage have blocked major part of the highway, a highway that leads right up to Nigeria. A pile of garbage have blocked it. And I remember 2 years ago an accident occurred in that road because of the same issue, as the road has been narrowed by piles of dirt, and that accident claimed the lives of more than 7 people who died, including some family members of ours. They died not just because the driver was reckless, but because the road was narrowed and another vehicle was trying to overtake, leading to a very dangerous bend, and they collided and people died, some were injured. Families lost their loved ones, not just because of the recklessness, but because of the pile of death. And that has been the situation of other communities which have probably not been well reported. And so therefore, one is tempted to ask the question, our authorities, don't they move across the nation? Don't they live within our communities? Don't they see what we see? Don't they breathe what we breathe? Or is it that when they are in their cars, in the tinted glasses, in their vehicles, they are focused just on their phones and arrive their destination? Oh, perhaps they don't see it because most of the time they are guided by escort. The road is cleared and they just have to pass. And the common man is the one who is caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, who walked right up to his house, and the process of walking, inhale most of the profound pungent smell that erupts from these. Can't it be replicated here? Or is it that this is not their home and they are just passing by and their second home is somewhere else? This is House of Commons with me, Mike Jarvis. But the truth is God. You can only kill the teller and not the truth. I want to wish you congratulations to you, Rita Tamanjong, for your fruitful graduation. Thelma, for graduating with Rita, for graduating with a first-class degree in accountancy, and also Thelma, also Amara, also to you, Pearl, to you, Jason, to you, Rich, and also the list is very, very long. To happy graduation ceremony to you, Queens, Bangui Queens, all those of you who actually graduated this December. I want to wish all of you fruitful graduation and a good life ahead of you. As you celebrate this graduation, you should know that the journey ahead is rocky, and only the strong and those who can persevere will survive. I wish you success in your endeavors. All of you, I wish you success. Cyril, success in your endeavor. Olive, success in your endeavors. In the studio, we are joined by a cream of panelists whom we are going to talk about this issue. I apologize for the technical start because of technical issues here at the studio. We are joined by a strong militant of the party of Search Espoir Matomba, Paprizo Eyome, who is a regular in the program House of Commons. Thanks for joining us, and happy Sunday.
Thank you once more. I think it's a pleasure to be here today again to talk to Cameroonians, more especially. And I want to greet all your televiewers and ask them to stick to this program every Sunday, and let them be ready to hear, because there is always, something which can be profitable to their hearing for their well-being in the future, as far as politics and all other life issues are concerned. I also want to take advantage to greet all the militants of our party, wherever they are who are listening to this program. And I will not end without expressing my, maybe my joy to have with me on this panel another panelist you invited, and I do believe that our exchanges will help to enlighten Cameroonians from here and there, so that they will be able to also consider their responsibility as far as this issue of garbage is concerned. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll be coming back to you, and in the studio we are joined by Engineer Dixon, who will understand the mechanism of operation within the indiscriminate dumping of garbage and the pile of garbage. He has been training a lot of university students across our nation and beyond, and has a word of experience when it comes to understanding, explaining, and actually providing solutions, real-time solutions that will actually protect our nation, preserve our nation. He has been given a lot of proposals, but the question is, do they listen? And will they listen? They will. And those who are to come are listening, and they will actually take note. And when they become better leaders, they will employ it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Jarvis, for having me on this distinguished platform. Happy Sunday to my fellow co-panelists. Happy Sunday to you, Mr. Jarvis. Happy Sunday to our televiewers. It's been a while, but I think it's always a pleasure to come back home. My media prime is like home to me, and I believe all our televiewers who are glued are not wasting their time. Hopefully, before the end of this program, the administrators involved in the sector of waste management, stemming from the Ministry of Environment to the Ministry of Public Health to the Ministry of Territorial Administration, which is directly in charge of the councils, we take something beneficial out of this program, and hopefully the experts who are now very active in the domain, in quote, we also get something out of this program. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. These are the gentlemen with whom we are going to have our discussion. Happy Sunday to you watching us from different parts of the world, especially those of you watching us in the United States of America. I think of you, Mr. Nyam, and your wife Robert, and your wife Joan. Happy Sunday to you, your kids Micah Kelia, and to you Agbo Charles in Canada, and all those of you who have been watching Festus in the United States of America. Happy Sunday to you, Mr. Festus, and all Lekele Fak, all those of you watching us across the world. To kickstart the program, I begin with you, Engineer Dixon. Before moving to Mr. Ayome, let me start with you. When we look at, this is not the first time we are talking about the issue of garbage. I remember there was a time when it became a major call for concern, and when we entered the presidential race, we were expecting that proper solutions will be proposed by the different candidates. Unfortunately, that was not part of the agenda.
Mr. Jarvis, yes, this is not the first time. Precisely, I think this is the third time we are having this conversation on this platform. And the fact that actions are not being taken towards this direction, it only tells that the sector of waste management has not been prioritized. And for it not being prioritized is because we have little-minded people who still believe that waste management is a consumption project. It doesn't produce. But it's so because many factors are not in place, Mr. Jarvis. I think that if all the factors and elements work together, waste management can generate enormous wealth. If we see the way things are being done now, it's not conventional. Anybody from common sense will tell you that collection and dumping is not a proper way to manage waste now. It's very improper and poor. And that is what we see every day. People dumping waste by the roadside, and sometimes the waste management company create a lot of traffic by trying to collect the same waste during the day, just to go and dump in one area all of it together. I think that the proper waste management method that we need now is full life cycle assessment for eco design, as well as integrated municipal solid waste management that takes into consideration material recovery. We take a lot of resources and dump. Mr. Jarvis, if proper sorting is done at source, I believe that many investors will be ready to create companies that will not only valorize some of these waste, but will also recycle them, and by so doing reduce the amount of waste that is going to our dump sites. These dump sites are lands that may never be used again, Mr. Jarvis. Is what? How many dump sites do we have in Cameroon? They cover how many hectares? Do you know this is land that may never be used because of the previous activity carried out on it? This land is being damaged. And why is it being damaged? Because we have people who have refused to think. People who believe that they are doing what is right, but in actual sense, it's like playing a show and putting huge sums of money in their pockets. I believe it's high time the politicians and administrators should sit up and call these so-called experts who are doing unconventional methods that is still archaic to wake up and do things that will favor everybody. There are investors who may want to come and invest in the waste sector, but how is the collection being done? The convention is not done in a proper way. If sorting is done at source, I repeat, people will invest in the waste sector. We have fertilizer companies that can come in to collect organic waste to generate compost and then sell to large-scale farmers who would prefer to use organic fertilizers than the synthetic fertilizers that causes more environmental damage. We have people who may come in to produce bricks from plastics. We have people who may come in to recycle the papers, to recycle the plastics, to recycle a lot of things. Why not generate energy through biogas production? So please, I think it's high time the administrators and all those involved in the sector wake up and let the right thing be done. Thank you, Mr. Jarvis.
Yeah, we'll be coming back to some follow-up on some key issues which you have raised about the degradation of the land, and also the fact that many people think that it's just a consumption process, which is also a process that can employ a lot of Cameroonians and boost the economy if we're managed and opportunity given. Payome, you're a politician. When you move across the street, you move across Douala, you watch some of the news talking about waste management. In your days and now, we know that population have increased, but is there something that we are doing now which is wrong that you people did rightly in your early days?
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm very, very much concerned with what is happening as a citizen, because such issues cannot be addressed only from the perspective of a political, view. And I'm glad to meet Dixon here. Dixon, is that?
Yeah, it's Dixon.
And first of all, want to mention the fact that he is an engineer in the domain. And personally, I also happen to be a scientist and a social worker who have had to, address these issues. And I agree with all he said. But I often say that politics, first of all, is a noble activity, and it is destined for noble people, because noble people actually know or can know what exactly has to be done, because they are open-minded, and eventually when they are in leadership, they try to address issues taking into considerations the people, ideas, opinions, and also the stakes, that is the project that is tomorrow, tomorrow. And by so doing, they will emphasize, and that's what I want to say, emphasize on the, how do you conceive what is waste, what is all which we have as refuse, how do you perceive them, because that is very, very important. Basically, unless you can design what it is, definitely you will just be replicating things like they do in other countries, without knowing that replicating something mechanically will not, be satisfactory to the population. But so said, I want to add this, which is that the responsibility to handle, waste, domestic or household waste and so on, it is a global responsibility, because we should know that we are the producers. All the waste, most of the waste we see, or all the waste we see along the road are from our houses. And so we have to be concerned about the fact that if our houses are clean, then the surrounding things should be. Now, politically, what I want to say about it is that the presence of all this on our street is related to the decline, the decay of the system which is put in place, which has not been able, to handle things properly. Which means, therefore, that there is a need for new people to take over. There is a need to put in place a new system that considers the need of the people to be educated, because the community should be educated. You mentioned about a number of countries, but there are also places like Limbe, for example. Sometimes people address issues like this without taking into account the history of, things that are happening. Before, in the 1990s, or before 1990, or before Isakam arrived Limbe, Limbe was clean.
Yes.
You had no problem with...
Even Boya.
Yeah, but let me take just that example. Even Boya and many other places, they were clean. You had like, there was a time you had the governor, Edio late Kungu Ferdinand. They will tell you that Salmilma was very, very clean. But we did not have Isakam there. What happened there? After Isakam came in,
that's when all hell broke loose.
Things began changing, which means that there was surely there was a shift
In mentality.
In the mentality of the people.
That, okay, now Isaac, I'm just going to dump
Yeah.
it. Isaac will carry.
Isaac will carry it. Whereas they had, first of all, to integrate the old method of handling refugees before Isaac will come in. But they just wanted to show the people that, okay, now, well, we are going to take responsibility on everything. And that is why we can observe what we see today. I went to Limbe, I don't know how long is that, but I was very shocked.
Yeah, because
even my fall Munadikumbo Park, when you are mounting at Limbe at the entrance, when you get to my 2, when you get to my 1 at the hospital, I was very sad.
Limbe currently now is the same like any other city. Dead pies everywhere. The culture where you don't eat and throw things have died. Where, because like you are saying, there was a time in Limbe where you cannot just throw things anyhow. You'll be arrested.
Of course, I stayed in Limbe for 16 years. And we didn't have any trouble before Isakam came, because Isakam came late in 2000, I think 2000 or something. But before then, we did not have, because again, there was this Keep Limbe Clean every first or Tuesday or something, which people respected.
They did not just close their shops.
They did not close their shops. People were cleaning places, and then when you get to some of the places like Sapa Road, Down Beach, you know, the place is clean and so on. So I think that, as I said, the system has decayed and it needs to be replaced, and that's why we are there, vying for the votes of the people to give us the opportunity, because what we think is that we need to re-educate the populations. We need in place, because from the time you realize that you can profit from processing, you know, like these degradable materials, then eventually you stick on that, because you know you are going to
you won't even be the one to be working around to collect.
You collect. You may not even move around to collect. You may tell people that, okay, if you have this and that, bring it, dump it here. Maybe I will give you some compensation, because, and personally, I do that, because I have a nursery in my house. I nurse trees, fruit trees, and many other types of, crops and so on. So I think that education has to be done, and then there is another aspect of it, which is, an emergency, and this is a solution which I think if we are given the opportunity, we are going to implement. You see, I happen to live or work in Adamawa, where you live in a place is very clean. You don't see people dumping waste here and there. And what was happening is that in some places they will use wells. And I think that if we are given an opportunity, we will come to that. We can accompany individual households. If you have a large land that is large enough, we can support you. You dig a well, maybe 10 meters deep or 15 meters deep. And we have had that even in our compound here in Douala. So you see, if that is done, eventually it will reduce the amount of waste to hand to Isakam.
I think that same system occurs from Meme. If you move to Banga, Bakundu, yes, Idiki, those people always have a place in their compound where they have, yes, docked, where they select the waste. The waste? Those that are degradable, they put them there. So it gets rot, and after a while they go to their farms.
I think those are techniques or processes that we can put in place so that we can, because you see, by the way, let me run up by saying that, you see, our lives are at stake. our health depends first of all on ourselves. The government is there, but we have to take care of ourselves first. So I think it is important for us to reconsider the issue by, first of all, as I said, giving us the opportunity to handle the situation and putting away those who have been there and unable to handle. And eventually we are going to commit ourselves, as we have begun already, to educate people on the fact that managing waste and so on can be profitable, first of all, and that it is our, community commitment.
Okay.
It is for us all to do that.
Thank you very much, engineer. You before looking at the valorization on the job opportunity, what could be? Are we not in a possible time bomb for health hazard?
I think you are on point. Not only health hazard, I look at it multifaceted damage. It has a very huge economic negative impact, the way things are being done. It has environmental impact. It has health impact. I will expatiate. How does it affect the environment? By research, waste emits a lot of greenhouse gases like methane, carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, and oxides of sulfur. These are not good gases. And also waste generates what we call leachate. During the process of decomposition, the liquid waste that comes from it has huge potential to pollute nearby water bodies. It is very contagious because it contains huge amount of bacteria, and with the proliferation of flies, cockroaches, and other vectors, I think it can affect us now health-wise through the spread of diseases like dysentery, cholera, diarrhea, and so on. Why not malaria? Because it serves as well as a breeding ground for mosquito, which is a vector of Plasmodium, the pathogen that causes malaria. And in terms of the economy, I think huge sums of recoverable materials, like I earlier said, is being disposed of. That's huge sum of money that we are losing. And not only that, it affects the tourism sector greatly. Mr. Jarvis, I don't think you would love to visit a country whereby all the streets is proliferated with dumps of waste. So I think if we don't have a holistic view of some of the impacts I'm mentioning, we will not see the importance for us to invest our last dime to make sure our streets are clean. And this cannot come if we don't have the administrative will. I want to reiterate, I said last time that we have 5 components of municipal solid waste management. One of it is the administrative will. The administrators, those in charge, they must have that will, that desire. The DOs would love to see the environment clean. They should call the mayors, they should call those in charge of that. The administrative will must be there. The law enforcement, all of them should come together to make sure the streets are clean. If that one is not there, we can't have a good system. Second is finance. We should be able to appropriate finance for that. I think every business, to the best of my knowledge, pay what we call hygiene tax. And if people are paying this tax, no matter how small it is, let it be used for the purpose, and not only being used, it should be well managed. That's the second component, finance. The third component is the equipment. How equipped are those in the sector to manage waste? To the best of my knowledge, they don't even have whole containers. Whole containers are these containers that are kept by the roadside for people to come and dump waste.
Yes.
If people are dumping on the street, it means there are no whole containers. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. So they are not equipped. They are
not even being segregated.
Of course. And even if the whole container is there, for everybody to just put everything inside. It should be well strategically planned. You see, we are minimizing the sector. This is not a sector will take any kind of body and put there to manage. If you don't have training in that sector, you can't be there. But if you look at what is happening, those who are there, you see somebody studying Science de la Vie et de la Terre is a director. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It means you are minimizing the sector. I bet you, if we say we should check files and profiles of those who are managing waste, we will have university training environmental scientists, training environmental engineers. Why are they not there?
Who will master?
People who master the domain. Why are they not there? You people have people doing English literature. Is it a joke? They are the ones directors there. Cut me.
It's more of a political,
it's like you are using what is so pertinent to settle a political I don't know, to give people political benefits. Something that's affecting you and I directly. Is just like appointing a doctor who has not been through training. Can you do that? We are killing ourselves, for Christ's sake.
Because like you explained about the leach, look at also because when we look at the water table of Douala, it's very low. And imagine the peculation of this leach, and people, we have boreholes around where people are relying on this water.
Not only that the water table is low, Douala is having a sandy geology. Douala has a very sandy geology. Yaoundé has a very clayey geology. That's why if you move in Yaoundé, you see red soil. It's clay, loomy clay soil. Here we have sandy soil. So it tells you that it's a soil with very high infiltration rate. But now, because the water table is not too high, that's why we easily have flood in Douala when it rains for long, because water comes up. Now, that's not where I am. So I was already on the third factor, which is equipment. The fourth factor is public involvement. I think Parali said the way the waste sector is being managed is not being holistic. The public is not being involved. He made mention of a very pertinent point that before in certain areas waste management was well done.
Yes.
Why is it not well done now that there is a change of mindset? That's powerful. That's a powerful observation. And why is there a change of mindset? Because those who are in charge don't carry the people along. Mr. Jarvis called me wrong. Show me one place. Called me or tell me one time Isakam went to markets to do what we call sensitization. Tell me one time they went to schools to sensitize people. But when you go to Europe, you see the streets of Europe being cleaned. Do you know what Europe, the pain Europe go through to educate their population to have
there's an argument
waste and awareness?
People argue that we produce more waste than those people. How true is that? That we produce more waste.
We don't produce more waste than Europeans. First of all, waste production is engineered by income level. The rich people will definitely produce waste more than the poor, because their consumption pattern are not the same, and they consume more of goods that have packages because they are the ones who go to the supermarket. Then the poor people consume more of natural goods because they don't go to the supermarket, so we produce more waste. People high income level produce more waste. We can compare waste production with Europe. They produce more waste than us, but they have awareness more than us. They take it serious more than us. We are joking with it, and we are gradually killing ourselves, killing our society. Look at a town like Douala, economic capital. Every street, every 100 kilometers, you meet a
blocking the major road.
Beside the road, causing traffic, mosquitoes everywhere. It's unheard of. And I have the last factor. I was on the fourth, which is public involvement. The public need to be involved in it. They are stakeholders. They are the producers. It's just like going to a medical doctor. The medical doctor run the test for you and don't have a dialogue with you. Say just go to the pharmacy and get so and so drug. You are getting drug for what, doctor? So is that can just say put the waste here and carry? They are carrying what? What education have you given to the people? And lastly, I am tempted to believe, Mr. Jarvis, I am tempted to believe that there is no expertise. There is no expertise, because if there was expertise in that domain, the way things will be done will be very coherent, very apt. You will see the engineering. And let me quote you again why I say there is no expertise. Go online and check the national plan for waste management. The last update was 2012.
Wow.
It's online. Go and check. It's in French even, not in English. Plan stratégique de gestion, plan stratégique national de gestion des déchets. The last update was in 2012. Why 2000 what?
2025. Moving to 2026.
Our consumption of 2012, is it the same thing now? We have many products that have come into the market. Consumption pattern have changed. Income level has changed. We have become poor or rich. I don't know. Some people have become poor. Some people have become richer. Neighborhoods have changed. We are still working on the old plan. So please, they should not take people for a joke. And if we don't wake up, like I said, we all are in it. We should be ready to face it. Thank you.
Let me take on this message. Is happy Sunday to you guys in the studio. I think the issue about dumping of waste, it is a collective problem. We are responsible. They are responsible. The reason why I say we are responsible is that we have decided to elect those who cannot actually do the job, and they are responsible in that those who elected them have failed because they have failed them. So to me, the best solution is to give this out to local people to manage. This is coming from John in Douala. This all right. This is happy Sunday to you guys in the studio. I love the topic, Mr. Jarvis. If you move across our cities, our towns, you will be tempted to ask the questions that what is happening? Are we in a jungle? Major routes blocked because of indiscriminate dumping of refuge. I feel sad whenever I look at the situation. I only ask, what is Ibrahim Traore doing? Is he doing a magic that we cannot do, or is it that God just appeared to Burkina Faso and God refused to appear to Cameroon? We must take our destiny by making sure that we actually vote the right municipal councillors in the 2026 municipal election. Thank you very much. This all right. It says I'm enjoying the program from Yaoundé. You guys are talking, but are they listening? Madam Flo, okay. Let me take on this one before going to the panelists. This one is Mr. Jarvis. It is a good program that you are talking, and I just hope that the Minister of Territorial Administration will actually go and visit all these dump sites as he always visits when there is an incident in Cameroon. When there is an accident, you see the minister is there. When there is an incident, is there. But now that we have this dumping, the territory is dirty. So we expect a minister to actually go and visit this dump site and hold those officials accountable. I'm talking about those for urban development, public health, and I'm also talking about those who are within decentralization. Now, you have talked about the holistic aspect of this, which means that before Isakam, the people were managing their waste. Like engineer also added that the policymakers did not put the people in the plan of action to move them, to accompany them through the process in terms of training, education, and policies being put in place. Now, I want to ask you this question. If we look at this situation politically, who is to be blamed? Or is it not because of the chaotic nature of the administration that people think that it is this man that's supposed to do the job, this man is this man that's supposed to do the job? For example, you have the Minister of Public Health, like engineer said, there's a health hazard, which is already there. Environment and nature protection, there is the environmental problem, which is being there because degradation of the land that you're talking about, that we just go and dump, and we may not have this land again to be used for personal issue. Agriculture is also involved. You have housing and urban development. What urban are you developing when your city is dirty? What are you saying? You also have now the city mayors, which are in place. You also have the mayor. So who does what and who do we hold responsible?
Okay, thank you for the question. But before I get to your question, I want to add something else from what Dixon said. Which is very, very subtle. You see, I very much suffer daily because I live in a compound and in front of us there is a road, and almost every week during dry season, most especially, I take my time to clean that portion of the road to see that, you know, when you are passing, it is good to see. But what happens is you have some of our neighbors who, after you've done that work, will come and drop a bag of refuse just in front of something which is very, very, very nasty. And the consequences of this is that we did not mention it, is social conflicts. Because you see, it prigs some anger in me. I will try to find out who has done that, because actually, if I may see somebody like that, under some anger, I may, you know, I don't know, talk to him very, very bitterly. And this is one of the problems we have in our community, and it contributes to, you know, destabilize the social cohesion. You know, because sometimes that may happen because it is a neighbor, it's your neighbor who did that.
Yes, and so when you want to react, now they take it emotionally.
They take it emotionally. So this is one of the aspects which
some will react to c'est toi le gouvernement.
Some people will tell you that it's a public way, it's a public street, so it's not your house. Why do you, you know, talk about it? Well, to answer your question, I want to say something which I think Dixon mentioned before. There is a problem in this country. There is a problem, and I began addressing it. It's just that platforms are very, very few. I have not had an opportunity to address the issue. You see, there is a rupture, dislocation. There is a very, very great gap between trainings that are offered in our universities, schools, and what, you know, has to be done on the ground by those who went to school. And I happen to then observe that the reason why people shoot on the government is that they fail to understand, first of all, that they themselves are concerned with the issue. They fail to understand that. And the other hand too, those who are in the administration, the government and so on, like let's say the Minister of Higher Education and all the rest, fail to understand that the training offered in the university is to prepare the people to work, to perform, carry out, you know, because we are addressing waste issues here. I have a younger friend who has a PhD in waste management, but is it known? Is it taken into consideration?
That's what I was saying.
Eventually,
there have been a project where engineer himself actually wrote about this issue and submitted.
Yeah, and then on the other hand, I said this. I said it as a scholar also. How able have you been to give the proof that you are qualified in the business? Let me narrate you a very, very small, that is, you know, story. We, in our department in the University of Douala, a young man who studied health anthropology. His subject was on how to handle a premature child. You understand? Owner of a master degree, a master too. Okay, but the elder brother's wife gave to birth a child,
a premature
child, and that child passed away. So one day we were discussing, and I asked him, "Do you know?" When he brought that, I asked him, "Do you know you are responsible for the death of that child?" That is when he began taking, you know, conscience of the fact that, as a specialist, he ought to have told the brother that, listen, I'm specialized in this thing. And considering the fact that we are in a place where the medical equipment
are limited,
then this is what we have to do. What do I want to say? I want to say that every single person today who goes to school should not only think of waiting until obtain a job and then earns the money to come and give the people. No, give proof of what you are learning in school.
let me just cue you in there before I get to engineer. Let me cue you in. We've had a lot of people who have written projects, actually, to the government, explaining how they can manage, restructure the waste management. Engineer sitting here in 2000, I'm sure it should be 2 years or 3 years ago.
I did that in 2015, and recently I did that
recently twice. Writing that, okay, these are the practical modalities. We can do A, B, C, D. We can do this, we can do that. Okay, let us have this first phase, second phase, third phase. Let me have the opportunity to even handle it, not even financial compensation, but let us put this mechanism in place. But it has not been, in fact, it has been buried. Somebody felt like maybe is coming to remove the money that is going to be in my pocket politically. Now that's where you politicians are coming in.
Yes, but that's how we also have to educate the community. You see, I'm an anthropologist, you understand? But if you get into my family, you ask people an anthropology, what's that? They will not tell you. But today I'm big glad to an extent, because some of my younger brothers, some people around me, because I'm trying to, to tell them what is anthropology and handling some cases practically. Like when you talk about marriage issue, what people do today is they will tell you that, in the Douala community, marriage is very, very expensive. Okay, well, but what do you know, first of all, about marriage? What is marriage to you? And then all the processes involved, all the materials or the goods that are required. What are the significance of everything? When you do not know, you just look at the thing superficially. And that's why I want to come down to the fact that, excuse me, it is very, very important. You see, when they say the Cameroon is continent, that's to call us, on us, to deepen our researches, because there is enough to know in this country. The reason why they did not accept is because listen, all that most of the people do, the police, gendarme, all those people you complain of, the ministry. Now it's not only money. It is prepared from our communities, because when you go to school, you are an engineer. What you learn has to be accepted, received within your own family. That is, they have to receive you as an engineer, but they are not receiving you as an engineer. They are receiving you as the son of X, who is a worker who can bring in money. But what you have as expertise, they will not take it. And unfortunately, this is one of the reasons why, if you get even into our administration, you will not, because in our society, they are not accepted in our society. You are going to the university itself, the people, the authorities of the universities, or the Ministry of Higher Education itself, is not abreast of the fact that this guy we are training like this, have to be sent to the field to be operational. We have to accept it. And that's why you see that even in the councils, if you go there, you will never see a mayor who will call on an engineer like you. Okay, come, bro, you did this. You just, brief me on. Even if he will not give you a contract, but at least to hear from you. Because that is...
Do they even give accountability?
That is... Yeah, well, you see, before we get to accountability, that is where is our problem. Hearing...
From the experts.
From the experts. Even the primary school children, if a child knows to calculate, you can entrust him calculating things in the house, and that's how responsibility is built up.
Okay.
You understand?
We're coming back to you, Daddy. Let me go on this message. Dear Mr. Jarvis, the issue of garbage taking over our streets is a serious concern here in Kumba. Our streets are blocked with heaps of rotten garbage, and Izakam is burning refuse on the highway, causing health hazard and poor visibility, leading to accidents. The whole town is smelling because of this. Izakam and the councils are responsible for environmental pollution. Tabemwa Denisus, writing from Kumba. This one says, happy Sunday to you all in the house. And I am Edat Divine, writing from Victoria Limbe. Mr. Jarvis, my brother, when they ask who is to be blamed for the too much garbage along the streets of Cameroon, we don't need to doubt that kind of answer, because when the people still keep asking the kind of question, I just see that even the citizens of this country are not just serious themselves. So it makes it like people know something but just want to taste people and remove word from their mouth, because there is a saying that when there is a saying that when the head train derailed, the wagons but fall off the rail and everything will get to zero, like the entire nation of Cameroon that has fallen completely in a quagmire of that and that. So finalize my statement in who is to be blamed. I say the government is the one to be blamed for every uncertainty and every abnormality that is going on in this country, because in any serious country, the government is the one that set the pathway to direct every activity that goes on in the country. So let us all blame the government, sir. Ella Divine, writing from Limbe. His other writes is Mr. Jarvis, happy Sunday. And the panelists, I am a student of the University of Buea. I reside beside GPS Ndongo Wokoko, whereby one clean pa, as I call him, Pa Ashu Nkeng, and the staff of the school, especially one madam who usually come early to clean the school, but residents around the school always throw dirt in the school. I saw at Equinox whereby the head teacher had called the council to help them, but no way. Residents keep dumping dirt. People and teachers are in their class and smoke from dirt being burnt, stench while the learners are suffering. Amma Ketty from Buea. Engineer, is that not the huge, like, just hear this kind of case that one, there's an area in Ndongo, a school where he said live around the school, where there is one part that decided to clean the area, and whenever they clean the school, the resident comes and dump there, and when they want to talk, nobody listen, and they burnt it, and the children are in class, health hazard, and at the end of the day you start seeing a young child suffering from bronchitis and start having all those issues that may even lead to cancer,
asthma and the rest.
And yet they say the council is not reacting. So is it a political issue too?
Like I said, we cannot blame one end and leave one end. To me, everybody has the blame, and all the sector, the ministries involved, they are to be blamed. Waste management is a mindset issue, and if the mindset is right, then we'll have the right people at the right places. And if we have the right people at the right places, we give them the power to organize the sector. Once the sector is organized, it becomes a very high lucrative sector that can generate enough money that will be needed to run itself. And to be told, within a municipality, we have different types of waste based on sector. A big metropolis like Douala, which we have industrial waste. Industrial waste, according to law of August 5th, 1996, related to environmental management, is not waste that is supposed to be managed by the council. I think the third principle of that law, which is the polluters pay principle, stipulates that industries have the sole responsibility to eliminate, reduce any hazard that can come from that waste, be it health, environmental, or and more. The other waste that can be managed at the level of the council and ISACAM is what we call the municipal waste that constitutes the residential and institutional. So I think that, like I said, if we have the right people at the right places doing the right things, the sector will be so organized that spending money in the sector will be so easy for the government. But if the government can't really see where money is going I think investing in that sector will be a little bit, they'll be reluctant. That is where the political aspect now may come in. I don't think you can be spending in an area where you just keep spending, you don't see any added value coming out of it. So we can put it that way, but I believe that the sector is well managed and the plans are well done and presented. It goes to the parliament, it will be voted, and I believe that money will be pumped into that sector.
But the question also I want to ask you is, who does what now? Because this is it politically. Is it not the chaos politically that is responsible for this? For example, you have the mayor in the municipality. You have the city mayor. You have the regional councillors. Like in the case of Northern and Southwest, they have special status. Who are the chief executive officer of the regions?
Yeah.
Who are supposed to man and come up with policies that will address these root causes. For more than 5 years they were there, we have been having this problem, especially those in the Northern and Southwest region who enjoy the special status. You now have the Ministry of Environment, which is there, and has regional delegates spread across the divisions and divisional delegates. You now move, now you have the Minister of Transport, because roads are being blocked.
I'm not cutting you.
Who does what?
I want to elaborate on what I just said. Probably you to educate also our viewers. You see, whether we have all these people, it needs a technocrat.
Okay.
Without a technocrat on seat, all these people, even if they say it's due, is mayor, is they will not do anything. I will explain. The geology of Yaoundé is different from the geology of Douala.
And the geology of Douala is different from
plan of Yaoundé and the waste management plan of Douala Marwa can never be the same.
Of course.
Because their road networks are not
the
same. Their population density are not the same. Their residential orientation, the plans of each of the towns are not the same. So my point is this: allow experts get to work, come out with a plan that will facilitate sponsoring. That is as simple as ABC. Invest in experts, get them to work, let them come up with a well-calculated plan for the sector on how everything will be done step by step and how income will be generated in the sector. The plan should be there. Investing in the sector becomes easy.
So the issue now is, as you are explaining, is the lack of technocrats.
Yes, we are playing with it. That's why we have people who read history. They are directors in the sector.
But why is it that Isakam at this point, well, what could have caused this mentality shift? Because like Pat pointed it out, and you affirmed it, that before we were managing this crisis, it was not a major crisis. It was not a health hazard. Now they came and told you people that don't bother, there is Isakam, Isakam will manage it. And is it also the fact that some of the engineers have not sensitized the people too?
Mr. Jarvis, if I come to your house and say I want to eat jollof rice, it's you and I. It's easy for you to enter your kitchen and prepare jollof rice for you and I within 1 hour. Rice is ready. Am I right?
Of course.
Yes, but if now I say, Mr. Jarvis, we are inviting some of our friends in the diaspora in Cameroon, there will be 500 of them. Please, I love that jollof rice I prepared already. Can you prepare jollof rice for us? Will it be easy for you now? We have 500 people. So that's the problem. If we simplify this sector, we'll be where we are. People have in their mentality, what is waste management? Carry it and dump there now. Have you not managed your waste? No, that's not waste management. It needs attention just like any sector. Just like how the hospital needs attention, waste management needs attention. To manage waste of a town, you need experts, you need technocrats who come out with everything well planned and they guide every action along the way. There is monitoring and evaluation. And there is reporting monthly, weekly, depending on the activities that are going on. So if we don't get that done, we don't give the attention it deserves, the politicians will not do anything. I don't know if I'm speaking. You are a politician. If you don't have technocrats, there will be nothing that can be done.
Obviously, you need to have some specialists in doing whatever.
That's it. It's that simple.
Now, let us look at this other issue, because there's a question I asked you probably. Let me elaborate further on it, because if we look at the issue, like Pa said, if you are in a sector, you should get yourself known What there is a council of engineers.
Mm-hmm.
We have a council of engineers. I may be wrong.
You're right.
That before you actually call yourself an engineer, you must pass through that council, and that council has to validate you and now bestow upon you the council of engineers. But why haven't we seen them coming out strongly? Like we always see in other nations, in issue like that, they'll come out. The syndicate will come out and say, hey, there is a problem here. This is a danger. Why haven't we seen them? Or are they also afraid that they maybe take political move?
You know, they say don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. I believe, I don't want to elaborate on what I've just said. Those who have ears and wisdom, they will understand what I've said. We have national orders of engineers, we have national order of civil engineering corps, we have national order of rural engineering corps, and I happen to be a member. Believe me, there's a lot of work that needs to be done as far as administration and organization and the activity of some of this corps, which I believe the Prime Minister has to look into. But that said, I think for now they are focused with their members. They are focused with their members. I don't know if the constitution that governs the association permits them to intervene head on.
No, but it is not. The public is not even calling them for intervention. The public is calling them for an awareness.
Yes, of course. You see, let me just say something about that.
It will be coming. Just a minute. We will be going to an advert, which is in a few seconds. An advert. Then when we come back, I will give you so I'll probably elaborate on this, because there is a major concern. Many people are afraid that if you look at other sectors, if things are not working, let's get to this advert. We'll be coming back.
I am Express Exchange, leader in money transfers within Cameroon for more than 15 years via my international partners MoneyGram, Western Union, Riyadh Transfer, World Remits, and others. You can send and receive money all over the world. I assist you in all your mobile money transactions and buying of communication credit. You are always welcome to my 300 branches for payment of your ENEO, electricity bills, and your university tuition fees, the payment of school fees and competitive examination fees for high schools and college via the Campus Money platform. Because your satisfaction is my priority, I assure you on ever-increasing and improved quality service, payments, availability of cash for your transactions. Express Exchange, the #1 in quality service in Cameroon.
You're welcome back from that transition. You're about to say something, because the worry many are asking is, for example, if you look at the national call for doctors, when things are not going right, they will come out and say, we expect this from the medical fee. When it's something that is their interest, they'll come out and say it. But when it's something that is a general interest, because the engineers, their families, if there's a time bomb, everybody will feel the impact, everybody in it. But when it's something that is their interest, you hear they'll come out and say, hey. But this is a major issue that academically, you are a pedagogue, that academically, people are supposed to come out and express and show where their expertise now is. In other countries, we see it.
You see, before we get into the aspect of being expert in things, in other countries, as we likely always try to mention, in a vicinity like this, a cat may disappear and then all the quarters is alarmed, because they will say, no, there is something dangerous. Our lives, our security is in danger. So actually, I think at that, so said, I want to just mention that the concern for the people must not be because they belong to an organization. Because what is happening here will not spare you because you are a doctor or you are not a doctor. You are a citizen. This is a major concern for all citizens. But I think that the organizations like the one of engineers that have something to do with it, I think at least they have to do, bring out a public statement about it. It is not that you are involved in politics. And beside that, you see, there are specialities But politics is something which, collects everything is attached to politics.
Yes.
Because if for you to carry on, a public health program, it must be attached to the policies that are put in place by the government. You cannot do otherwise. So what I want to say next is related to a question you earlier asked about what is happening. There is a problem in our administration, and all these things too, I happen to know them because I happen to be a civil servant. There is what we call power struggle in our country. Power struggle, notably at the regional levels.
Mm-hmm.
You see, let us take the aspect of control in our roads here. Who is responsible? Is it the police commissioner? Is it the DO? Is it the mayor? Look,
Or the governor.
or the governor, who is there? Look, who has the responsibility of controlling, of constructing roads here in Douala? To whom is, bestowed the responsibility of constructing road? Now, obviously, everybody will tell you that is the council. But now, when it comes to controlling vehicles that are using the roads, who is responsible?
Public security.
They
National
will tell you
security.
that it's police or the DO, and which is wrong. Which is because that is where lies the problem. It is the mayor who is the constructor of the roads. So obviously, he has to be given all the powers to control the movement of citizens on the road. How do you use the road? Because sometimes it will happen that the mayor will decide that, for example, you were talking about these sidewalks and so on. The mayor will decide that the people should leave the sidewalk, and then the DO will come and say, no, you can't do that because, that will, conflict. There will be this, the population will complain. And no. So those are the problems that we have. And that is why, you see, when we are vying for the people's votes, it is because we want to see that the right powers are given to the right people. If the council is responsible of the roads, market, this and that, then they must be given the entire authority also to control. You see, I want to materialize what I'm saying by giving you an example of a conflict. Before we didn't have, in Douala here, in Yaoundé, we didn't have municipal police, but we had municipal police already in Southwest and Northwest.
Yes.
Okay, now, in Boya, in Limbe and so on, when the municipal police decide to take an action, you don't see the national police, and everybody follows. If they say they are going to pit you from this place, no argument. But here, they will tell you that no, the national police must be there. But what was the problem, or what is the problem why the municipal police is not accepted here?
Their conduct too.
It's not only it's not because of their conduct. The very first thing is, you see, the national police, the national police, you see, we have to correct all these things. The national police is working for the government, for the administration. It's not working for the councils. So what happened before the municipal police was that this guy can control all the papers, but they don't care about papers that yields resources to the councils.
Mm.
And so the mayors understood that there is something fishy, something wrong which is happening. They are not getting, the proceeds which are destined to them. That is, maybe you have a car. If you have to pay, I don't know, how do you call it? Is it the blue card or something like that? That goes to the council. The policeman, the national police guy will check you, look your insurance, look at the governance and all that. But when it comes to the council paper,
you have to pay park fee.
So he allows you to go. Now, They brought the municipal police, who actually were supposed to check those papers. Okay? But now, it is true that some of them go beyond. But the truth is that the road users don't want to pay council money. They don't want to pay it. And those national police officers who were put in place were just picking 500. You don't have a council paper, you give them 500, they will take it. And now they say, okay, no. I think, to me, if we go to Limbe, I do believe that the council police, Kumba, all the rest, they can check all the papers of the vehicle, because it is not only about proceeds, it is also about security. You cannot drive a vehicle in a council. You do not have your insurance. You do not have this. It's dangerous. And security is not, the sole responsibility of the government. No, it's everybody. So the problem here is that people have that. It's not even a tendency again today, because it is a belief that people have already, developed in their mind, that when there is this to do, it is government. There is this, it is government. There is this, it is government. But I think that they have to strip some of this, responsibility from the DOs, SDOs, and governors, and give them back to the mayors, and things, I think, will work better. And that's why we are asking people to give us, to entrust us the management of the councils, and we are going to fight to see that that's what is, because the council are there to work for the people.
And not the other way around.
Yes, not the other way around.
Okay. Greetings, Elite writing. Please, Mr. Jarvis, let me add to what engineer just said, that in a situation as such, they should propose something of ideas like that and send to the parliament, so they should vote it as a bill to foster the amelioration of the sector. Please, our able engineer do not know again the country. Please, don't our able engineer know again the country we are living in? The house called parliament in Yaoundé. Can you sit us? Okay. This one is okay. This one is happy Sunday to you guys in the studio. I want to ask engineer if he does not know the country that he is. That these people don't care. All they care is money. That's why they keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. Don't be shocked that they will borrow money to handle the issue about waste again. And that when they let us now move to the second topic briefly, looking at beyond special status. What has changed? We have had a lot of issues as far as the Northwest is concerned. Of recent, engineer, there have been series of attacks in the Northwest region, and this December period, people are complaining about the extortion on both ends. That is checkpoints. This one will tell you that if you go in front, you meet your brothers. This one will tell you that if you go in front, you meet these people. This one will tell you. Now, special status that was accorded, people thought it was going to reduce end the conflict. And what do we really need to do to put this thing to a final stage?
The decentralization process, which was accorded, I think, is still at a paper level. Not much has been done as far as the practicality of it is concerned. It is true that we have offices, we have the regional councillors who have been appointed. We have special status being accorded to Northwest and Southwest. But if we look at the implementation of it, I believe up to now, the common man, if we move in the streets of Kumba, the streets of Manfe, the streets of Bamenda, Batibo, Ndop, you discover that up to now, the common man is still not feeling the effect of the special status, simply because the groundwork and the practicability of the implementation is not well coordinated. If I ask, we have the mayors in Northwest and Southwest in our major towns, and also we have the regional councillors, we have the super
mayors,
super mayors, you know, what are their different rules? Because I believe that the special status was to give certain powers to the regional councillors, powers in terms of administration, in terms of economic drive within these two regions, so that the economy of both regions can also come up. But when we observe, if I observe the situation critically, I think not much has changed. It's going to 10 years now. It's going to 10 years now since the special status was given. But not much has changed within these two regions, the Northwest and the Southwest. We still have a lot of tension in the area. I think recently we saw a lot of kidnapping going on. I was even with a colleague who is a lawyer last week. We were together and immediately received a call that one of his junior brother has been kidnapped, and they are asking the sum of 20 million. You see, so Mr. Jarvis, without mixing words, something needs to be done. I'm calling on the powers that be, Ministry of Territorial Administration, the head of state, to really look into the implementation of this special status which was accorded to the Bow regions, and not only the Bow regions, the decentralization process which has been kick-started, I believe needs certain follow-up. Powers should not be concentrated all in their own day.
Yeah.
It will, the population is growing. I think 2018 till now, the population we had in 2018 will not be the same population we're having now. If we don't plan based on a certain geometric growth in the population, at one moment we will find ourselves wanting a lot. So in my opinion, the head of state and the minister in charge, Minister of Territorial Administration, is decentralization.
Territorial administration and no, this is decentralization.
Minister of Decentralization, yeah, should really look into.
No, they have to work also hand in hand with the territorial administration, because at this time many are saying that powers is in the hands of governors and DOs. DOs, governors are, because according to the special status, which many says that have not been able to produce tangible result, it states that the regional, the president of the regional assembly is supposed to be the chief executive officer of the region, manages the economy, plans strategic. In fact, he's the porte-parole of the region. But that has not been the case.
That's what I'm saying. That they need to look into it. It's a good thing. I think when any literate person that goes through the constitution as far as decentralization is concerned will tell you that if it is implemented, things will be well coordinated. Because you cannot, Yaoundé cannot know Manfi more than the people of Manfi. I don't know, Yaoundé may know about Manfi, but the daily livelihood and operation of Manfi will be known by the people of Manfi. And the way we will govern Marwa will not be the same way we govern Manfi, because of, I think, as an anthropologist, they have what we call the socio-cultural difference in the way of life. So the people who understand their way of life should take care of themselves at the level of economy and certain aspects of administration.
Okay, but how do we actually go with, because there have been an increase in violence?
First of all, thank you. I'm very, very concerned about this issue. But if I have to say something, first of all, I will blame the people of Northwest and Southwest, those who were elected from early 1992 up to today, and then the population. The special status was granted to those two regions in 1996 by it was provided in the Constitution 1996. If you read it.
Yes.
But do you know when people brought that issue up? Do you remember?
They mentioned national dialogue.
National dialogue. So who is to blame?
But how do you blame these people?
How can they grant you a status? You have a status. They say, okay, that, and you don't know. You don't do anything about it. You are elected. You don't do anything about it. The first people to blame are those people who were elected since that time.
The elite.
Because
The political elite.
The political elites, and even all the others, economic, and all the rest, the rulers. Because you were granted, you claim something, and you are given it. But you say how many? That was how many years? More than 20, almost 20 years. You are not aware. That you don't even take. You are not. You just behave like you are not concerned. So that is the first thing I want to say. They are the one to blame. Even the Minister of Territorial Administration is amongst those people, because they had to address the issue. I do believe that if from the word go, that is 2000 and 1996, if people have worked hard, eventually they could have, given enough resources to those regions.
Yeah.
You see, look at the energy people put in this upheaval, all the destruction. If they could have directed that same energy to claim that no, you people have granted us special status, to give us the status, we need the special status. Do you think nothing would have happened? Things would have happened. So the other aspect is you mention it, and we have I talk about it, even yourself, Dixon. It is that, you see, we don't know actually who is responsible of what.
Yes.
Between the Minister of Territorial Administration
and
decentralization and the other one.
You have transport. This is
don't look at transport. Look at even the other one of Kecha Kultez.
Yeah, but this is it. This is it. The special status. Now, on what you have said, you have roads that are to be constructed within the regions, that are municipal roads. You have roads that are national roads. You have also roads that are urban development within it. You have also city roads. You have municipal roads. Then you also have issues, public works, because the issues now we are talking about reconstruction.
Yes.
What is the thing that public work was supposed to do that reconstruction should not do? Everybody is doing everything and nobody is doing nothing.
That's it. That's why I'm telling you that all those ministers, what is their role? And every day the Minister of Decentralization keeps on educating mayors. Yes. People will be elected for a mandate. They end their mandate, they are not educated enough. They are not. So that's the problem we have. And many people who are involved in politics are not abreast of all these things. We ought to talk about it. Because you see, look at the DO. The DO does not have means, financial, economical means. But he's the one who carries an economic talk. Who has the means? The mayor. But it's the DO who goes round the place to do economical. This is wrong. It is the mayor who could have done that because he has the means to develop the place. So, all these things have to be addressed by not only political parties, but also, leaders of opinions, the entire society. People have to come up to address this issue so that we will know that if there is something that is required, we have to go to the mayor. Imagine that there might be something in your environment. You tell the mayor will not act. He will tell you that they have to call the police for the police to intervene. The mayor cannot call them to intervene. No, you have to pass through the DO. No, it doesn't make any sense. So you see, all these conflicts of powers are, responsible in second place of what is happening in the Northwest, because we don't know definitely what is the Minister of Territorial Administration doing. Urban development, we do not know. The Minister of Decentralization. Whereas they could have just sat down and say, okay, there are regional councils. Let us, draft a budget and give them the means. Because you cannot continue considering people. if we go to those regional councils, you have people who are professors there. And how do you tell me that the minister of decentralization will keep on educating professors, engineers, people who have been in the field that have done other things? They'll keep on educating them every day. To what results?
Okay.
So I think that those are the things that have to be done, and I will end up still encouraging people whenever they will hear that our list is, let them vote us. We are going to fight to our last breath to see that there are improvement in that level, because that's where lies the problem.
Yeah, when you say fight, people should not think that is a physical fight. It's politically.
It's a political fight.
Yes, if they are voted. So those who are watching should in the kind of moment where it's mostly sleeping in the dry season. So thank you guys for coming, Tapa. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Engineer Dixon, for coming.
Thank you very much for having me. Once again, happy Sunday to all our televiewers.
Thank you very much, Geoffrey. Happy Sunday to you, and congratulations for your graduation. Aristide, congratulations for your graduation. Michael, congratulations to all those of you who graduated in the Catholic University of Boya. I want to wish you happy celebration. And this program will be rebroadcast at exactly 10:30 p.m. And if you want to follow us, go to YouTube BT Media Group. You have the program on our YouTube channel. If you want to participate on the program, you can contact me and I will leave you my number and you will participate in the course of the program. As usual, no matter the matter, what matters is your matter. And what should matter is that you should stay out of trouble. My name is Tamai Jarvis, Cameroon's political capital, Fengujombange, economic capital, Fengujombange, Douala. Until we meet again, thank you, Desley. Bye-bye.
I am Express Exchange, leader in money transfers within Cameroon for more than 15 years via my international partners MoneyGram, Western Union, Riyadh Transfer, World Remit, and others. You can send and receive money all over the world. I assist you in all your mobile money transactions and buying of communication credit. You are always welcome to my 300 branches for payment of your Eneo, electricity bills, and your university tuition fees, the payment of school fees and competitive examination fees for high schools and college via the Campus Money platform. Because your satisfaction is my priority, I assure you an ever-increasing and improved quality service, payments, availability of cash for your transactions. Express Exchange, the #1 in quality service in Cameroon.